Patten, and it's time for Meta Business. Yes, I'm sure you're like, what's Meta Business? Well, I've been doing Meta Mondays for the past 6 months, and it's been a cool opportunity to expand my reach in metaphysics and spirituality and help inspire people to mindset shifts. And now that same practice, those same tools can be and will be applied to the business landscape. So no more checking ourselves at the door, no more faking the funk. That ish stops now. We are showing up in our fullness, in our wholeness, in our divinity every single day, even at work. So let's get it. So today we're going to talk about how we can invest in our soulful self, how we can be 100% authentic, truth, honesty, all of these things at work. Yes, at work, it's possible. First and foremost, you have to get real. You have to get real with yourself. You have to know who you are. And I'm sure you're like, I know who I am. My name is such and such. I grew up here. I went to this school. I worked here. Yes, that's part of it. That's part of your identity. But who are you truly? Ask yourself that. Why do you do what you do? And that is the central question for everyday existence. You get up in the morning, ask yourself, why do I do what I do? Am I doing it for money? Am I doing it for purpose? Am I doing it to impress my wife or my husband? Am I doing it to, satisfy my kids, feed them? You have to get down to the core of why you do what you do. These why questions help us to understand the truth of who we are. They help us to understand why we are where we are and help us understand how to get to where we want to be. By knowing who you are, by understanding truly who you are, then more of yourself can show up in every single moment, whether it's at work, whether it's at home with your family, whether it's with your friends, because you are comfortable in your own skin. And that's the first step. The second step is to be whole. First, we have to get real. Second part is to be whole. And I'm sure you're like, okay, you're talking about this wholeness, but as you get to know yourself, you get to feel those voids. Feel those voids that you used to seek externally, whether it was from shopping or eating or drinking or praises from people around you. Oftentimes when we show up at work, we're waiting for someone to tell us that we're doing a good job. We're waiting for our boss to praise us and tell us that we're ready for a promotion. But if you know who you are, you know what you deserve. You know what salary you deserve, you know what position you deserve, you know what work you should be doing because you have a better sense of self. You have a more aware sense of self. And the more aware you are, the more you can become whole. And the more whole you are, the more you can manifest your dreams. You can have better relationships. You can get along with your colleagues, and you can come up with innovative, amazing things because you know who you are. You are whole, and you don't have to wait for someone else to affirm you. That's, at the end of the day, the core of this path is knowing that you can affirm yourself, that you have all that you need inside, and you don't need to hear it from someone else. And last, and certainly not least, is to give your work life 100, all the way, all the hundreds. Because so often we show up going through the motions, waiting to get the check at the end of the week or every 2 weeks or whatever it may be. And that is certainly not a fulfilling way to move through your work-life journey. It's not a fulfilling way to move through life generally. And so you want to make sure that everything you're doing, that you're giving it all of you. All of you, all of your energy. And I know some of you are thinking, but Erin, I'm so tired. I'm having to do this and this and that and that. And that's why it's so important to know who you are. Take that time for yourself. That's why it's so important to be whole and fill in those gaps. And you can do more of that in meditation. And I'm sure everyone's like, okay, this is crazy. Meditate, I don't even have time for that. But just being still, even if at your desk, sitting down at your desk, closing your eyes for a second and taking 3 deep breaths. Getting up from your computer, getting a cup of tea, getting a cup of a water. Something to just calm your spirits and making sure that you're centered allows you to bring more of yourself to everything that you do. Because no matter where you are, you want to show up as yourself. You want to show up as yourself, as your best self. So again, we're investing in our soulful selves in this season. We're going above and beyond in business. This is MetaBusiness, and it's 3 easy ways. First, you got to be real. You have to be real with yourself. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you like and what you dislike. Number 2, you have to be whole. And you get whole by getting to know yourself. You get whole by listening to yourself, affirming yourself, and not relying on others, not relying on external factors to determine your happiness and determine your peace. And number 3, you give it your all. You go all the way. You give it 100. You give it 110 if you got it, because you have to make sure that you are fulfilled in all that you do. You're not just doing it to just get through the day. You're doing it for yourself. All right, y'all. I love you so much. I'm wishing you a beautiful week, a beautiful season, so much more to come. You can drop me a comment if you're feeling this message, share it with a friend, and also check out my website, erinpatten.com, for more insights and opportunities to engage with me. All right, peace.